Hello and welcome to the Knit Girls. This is episode 489. I'm Laura, also known as Lola.
I'm Leslie, also known as You Don't Call Me LS, and we're in the same room.
We are.
Laura, because she hasn't been in-person teaching, is relatively low risk, and I basically never leave the house. So we both decided that since we're, low to no risk right now, it's okay for us to be in the same room. We're just not going to, call dibs by licking on things or anything like that.
That's probably a good plan in general.
Yeah. If things change, we'll change. But for right now, we both sort of agree that it's okay for us to record it this way.
Because we're not going anywhere else.
Right. Because our social lives are amazing right now. I had to
I'm just like, what social life?
I had to talk to my nurse practitioner. So I've been with the company that I'm with for almost 21 years.
Wow.
Next month it'll be 21 years.
That's crazy.
So I was a teenager when I got hired at the company. I was basically 12.
Yeah. Obviously.
And so the company I work for, because there's so many employees, they have a little local clinic there. And there's no doctors, but there's a nurse practitioner and there's some, regular nurses and an RN as well. And when I say regular, I just mean nurses without a particular specialty. They're not less than. But anyhow, and the nurse practitioner, I've been using her since before I moved to New Jersey, right after I had Kobe. She's been with me for 15 years. Yeah. And so I know her pretty well, and so I had to call for a medicine refill, and usually I have to go in for that, but right now, of course,
I had to go in.
They're not open yet.
Oh, okay.
But they will be by the time I need next month's supply. So
Gotcha.
She called me and just it's medicine I've been on for 10 years, so it's she's just making sure no new random side effects have happened. And so she called me and was like, I would ask you how you like this social distancing, but I know you. She was like, this is your jam. And I'm like, oh, yeah. So, it's just funny. I wouldn't have expected her to know me as well as she does. But
that's pretty funny. She knows Michael, too, right?
She does, yeah. So she asked about him as well, whether he, needed any medicine refilled or any of that. I'm like, I don't know. That's his problem. He's a grown-ass man. He
can take care of his own meds. I appreciate that.
Yeah. So, anyway, this is a knitting show most of the time. Would you like to go ahead and go?
Sure. I am knitting on a heel. So, I cranked some tubes on an Instagram Live. Ooh, I don't know. Pretty early on Instagram Live. And I am putting in toes and heels and the ribbing. So the first one's done, so I'll show you guys that one.
And our sock machine is an Erlbacher Gearhart Speedster. It's the red one.
Yes.
We are not sponsored by them. We did not get this for review. But everyone will ask if we don't say, so.
Yeah, we purchased it.
Beautiful, blessed air conditioning.
So this is the first one. And this is Rock and String Creations, and the colorway is Cabin. It's like Christmas Cabin. Hold on, I wrote it somewhere. I have lots of show notes. Christmas at the Cabin colorway, and I add the toes, heels, and cuffs using a size 0 needle. The rest is cranked. So yeah, first one's completely done. I started these on Sunday, and the second one is done except for the heel, which I'm working on now. So I'm trying to get a pair done every week. I'm 1 week behind for Stash Dash. So if I get these done and then another pair done this week, I'll be caught back up. So yeah, and these are for me. They fit quite well. So that is the first. And my sock blockers are from Knitting on the Left.
You brought your own sock. I have 6 pair of sock blockers.
Well, I don't know if they would be accessible or not. Look, I'm used to doing things my own way now.
This is true.
I had to dig for this bag.
We have to relearn everything. I have 4 of those bags.
I could not find it. And then the second thing on the needles is a bounce blanket. So I did one repeat of this the other day while I watched Maggie Casey on Clemis and Clemis's summer camp Zoom. So I am up to 3. It's around 27 inches wide, and I'm going to do it around 30 long. People who have babies say that's not quite wide enough, but I want it to be like a stroller car seat blanket. So I think it'll be wide enough.
It'll be plenty wide enough. They can lay it the other way, if not.
Yeah, I think it'll be fine. I mean, babies outgrow blankets. And the blanket, this baby is going to be born at the end of November. And the time period for blankets are, they last longer than fitted garments, but not super long.
I still have, before, when Kobe was born, no one that I was friends with, was hand making things, but there was a really nice blanket that his grandmother gave him that I'm still with all his baby stuff, so.
Aww. And this is out of Neighborhood Fiber Company, and I'm knitting it on size 6 needles, and it will gradiate. So if I do, I've done 3 repeats? If I do 4 repeats of every color, then that'll be around 30 inches. And I have quite a bit still left. So after I'm done with I might go up to 5, and then I'll have little bits and bobs that I could do, like a striped sweater or striped hats out of. Yeah. So yeah, this is the Shades of Turquoise kit in the Studio DK, and then the green is Belair, also in Studio DK, and that's in my Amy Beth unicorn bag, which I adore. Which looks like this. So it all fits nicely in there. And then the last thing that I have on the needles is I'm knitting a Woodland Slouch by Woolly Wormhead out of fully spun Postscript DK.
I like that colorway.
This is the inclusive Pride colorway.
I like it.
And she's going to make her Pride colorways available year-round, which I love. And she's got a bunch of different Pride colorways. So, yeah, I really, really love this one. I'm kind of wishing I had also gotten into a fingering weight.
She's a person of color, right? So you'd be supporting...
yeah, she's LGBTQIA as well.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. I'm going to have her on my live tomorrow.
Oh, that's wonderful.
If you're interested. Her name's Brooke.
Yeah, I don't know that I can watch it live, but I might watch it afterwards.
Yeah, so it'll be put up on Instagram TV afterwards.
That's cool.
She also does a bunch of dyed in the wool yarns.
Mm-hmm. The ones that look like hand spun because of the way they're long.
I really like those as well. So yeah, I'm digging this though. And this is what it looks like in the cake.
I dig that a lot.
Yeah,
it almost looks kind of like Dick Tracy-ish, like with, the newsprint with the bright color in the comics.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. I was wondering where that was going.
Do you remember that movie? And I don't know if it was the 80s or the 90s with Madonna.
I have not seen that movie.
The Dick Tracy movie.
Nope. I missed that.
I don't think I've watched it since it came out. I might have to rewatch that.
I know of it because on RuPaul's Drag Race, they did 1,000 Nights of Madonna, and someone did one of the things from there. And that's also in a Fat Squirrel National Parks bag. And that's being knit on size 4 needles. So once I get through the twisted ribbed brim, then I will be doing the pattern. And I think it goes up a needle size. So yeah, that is what I have that I am currently working on. What are you currently working on?
The only thing that I'm currently working on, the Hasukai cowl, is in the show notes, but I haven't worked on it since last week. I've primarily been working on the Starboard Rock, which is a sweater. It's a fingering weight sweater that's sort of a cross between Joji Locatelli's Boxy and Andrea Mowry's Weekender. So it's got this broken rib. So I finished the body of it. It's got this broken rib detail at the top. The neckline I picked up. I actually had to pick it up twice because I didn't like the way it looked, so I ripped it out and did it again.
I can attest to that because she's at my house.
Yes. So...
I like that, though. It looks good.
Yeah, it's lined up right and everything. So I did go down a needle size for the neckline. The pattern instructs you to do so. It's hard to tell, but it also hasn't been blocked out yet, and ribbing usually looks a little wonky until it's been blocked.
Yeah.
I will say there are a butt ton of ends to weave in this sucker.
Well, I'll be okay.
But yeah, I mean, I don't love weaving in ends, but it won't deter me from a project. So the body of it is done, and it fits because I tried it on before even the neckline was done.
You did? I saw it.
And I started on the sleeve. So I wasn't sure how I was going to do the sleeve because the way it's written, you pick up for the sleeve and then you knit the sleeve flat and then you seam it. Ooh. I wasn't sure if I was going to do that or if I was going to pick up, knit in the round, and use just like a small circumference needle.
Why would you not knit in the round? Is there a reason why it seamed?
No. But the reason you wouldn't knit it in the round is because you have to constantly move it around.
But you would still be doing that if you're knitting it flat. You'd have to flip it back and forth unless you were knitting backwards versus purling. Which
is what I do.
Yeah.
Because I have to if I want my knit and my purl rows to be even. That's the only way I can do it. But, or switching needle sizes constantly. So I wasn't sure if I was going to knit it in the round or if I was going to knit it with a provisional cast on and then attach it later so that I wouldn't have to constantly be moving the
See, I think that would be
around.
More annoying than just
So yeah, it's all comes down to what annoys you the most. And for me, what annoys me the most is constantly moving the sweater around and around and then detangling the yarns as you move it around. So what I did was I picked up, I knit it in the round for a couple of rows just to establish it against the bottom of the underarm, and then I split. So now I'm just knitting it flat.
So
and
you're
then I'll
doing
seam
it as written.
As written.
Okay.
Unintentionally as written, primarily because I can knit backwards, purl backwards.
You're knitting backwards.
Okay. I can never remember which one it is. But basically when I'm purling, I'm doing it with the knit side facing.
Like you would for entrelac.
Right. Like you would for entrelac. That's a great comparison. Because for me, and the way that my purl and my knit gauge differ greatly, by several needle sizes greatly, the only way that I'm able to get an even stockinette fabric if I'm knitting flat is if I knit across and then knit backwards and then knit across and knit backwards. It's the only way I can do it. So I've been doing it that way for...
I can't tell you the last time I knit flat.
It doesn't bother me. I don't mind seaming.
I guess some open cardigans, newborn vertebrae maybe?
Yeah.
Oh.
And some people will do anything to avoid it, and that's perfectly fine. Valid concern. I dislike seaming less than I dislike constantly moving the sweater around. And because that also causes you to get your yarns tangled, and that annoys me. So with this, I'm alternating every other row. This is Ice Skating Party by Stranded Dye Works.
Yeah, because you're alternating every other row. That's why they're getting tangled. Mm-hmm. Gotcha.
Right. If it was a commercial yarn that was huge batch dyed, I wouldn't worry about it. But because it's an indie dye, regardless of the indie, I will always alternate.
Yeah.
So that causes your yarns to get tangled because you're doing...
They're getting twisted.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. So I'm knitting it flat. It's got decreases right now it's every 6 rows, and then after a little while it'll be every 4 rows.
And you're marking those decreases with markers?
Yep, I'm just marking them with these little bulb stitch markers that I use.
It's a good way of making sure that you're lining up when you seam too.
Yeah. And I had a thought. It's gone.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
You have a stitch marker attached to your...
It's because I need it in a second. That's why. I opened it and I jabbed it into the fabric
of the chair.
Of the chair, because I knew I was going to need it in a minute. So, yeah. I've got maybe, 8-9 inches done.
Yeah. How long are your arms?
I think they're 15. Something like that. I need to look. But I've still got 4 more sets of decreases before I even change the decrease rate, so I'm not worried about it.
Are you going to measure a different sweater that you finished that you like the arm length on?
No, I'll probably get this to the point where I think I might be close and then try it on and see how far off I am. But I think I'll be fine. I just wound the last ball of yarn, and each ball is 460 something yards. 463, I think.
And you have balls over there still, right?
No, that's my last skinny yarn.
Oh.
That I wound.
Okay, because you were talking about rotating between two.
Yeah, I wound the last ball into two with very uneven cakes. I am terrible at eyeballing things, so
most people would use a scale.
I've got like goggly eye cakes. Yeah, so I've got a little tiny bit left of scheme number 4, and then this is scheme number 5. I'm not worried about having enough for the sleeves. I'm very confident because when I started this sleeve, I had very little of either of the other balls left. So anyway, I've talked about my sweater for a long time at this point. So
I like it though. What size needles are you knitting on that?
5. So I went down 1 needle size, which is about average for me when it comes to sweaters. So I went down to a 5, and on the neckline, I was on a 4. So, yeah, that's it. That's it for me.
Cool. Do you have any finished objects?
No.
Okay. I have one. I finished the sock tubes that I was working on last week out of Knit and Bro Yarns in his Jawbreaker.
Oh, yeah. She
And
was determined to finish these this weekend.
yeah, I was on Friday. So they look like that, and so they've got this blue heel that came with it. So it's the Jawbreaker colorway is that white, and then the ocean blues for the heels. These are going to my mom, and I think she'll like them. So yeah, they need a good wash because, like you were saying, ribbing can look, especially ribbing that you rip out of another tube
that's already been knitted.
Yeah, so that looks a little wonky. So I'll give them a nice bath, and then they'll be ready to go with Wheezy socks. There can be a sock party going to my parents' house. So yeah.
I'm going to give your mother socks and not give Wheezy socks.
That's kind of mean.
Because he's been naughty.
He's always naughty.
Yeah.
I love that you are one of the most forgiving people I know, but you are not letting this go.
I'm not.
My father regifted something that Leslie gave him.
An epic gift. Like, a gift that I saw and I was like, Wheezy needs this. And there wasn't even an occasion. It wasn't like Christmas. It was just like, Wheezy needs this. So.
And then he regifted it.
And he did.
I was proud of himself for regifting it. Gotta rub that salt in that wound. Yeah, do you have any spinning? I think you do. Yes, I want to hear all about this.
So on Friday, it was a half day for me because I worked on call that week, and it was actually pretty slow Friday, which was a nice change. So I was like, well, I could sit here and play Animal Crossing, or I could do something.
What
for
else
this
do you have
podcast.
left to do on
That's
Animal
the thing,
Crossing?
too. Like, I could go and take wedding pictures.
I did 7 and then I was done.
I've done 2, and I'm like, nah, I don't care anymore.
Oh, I might do a couple more. The little party at the end of the 7th one's kind of cute.
I don't care enough. Plus, I downloaded new games for my Switch, so I've been playing Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze.
Ooh.
And, what's the other one? Oh, I downloaded the demo for Kirby Star Alliance, because Kirby is very much my speed. It's like, the way he kills enemies is by sucking him in and spitting them out. Like, there's no blood. It's
like Bubble Bobble.
Yeah, it's a very, like, kindergartners could play this game. So, anyway. So, Friday I had some wool that I got from Wool Bearers, a shop in Cherry Hill, New Jersey. They have their own in-house dyeing that they do for both yarn and fiber, and I bought this fiber.
They also sell wheels. They had shocked products.
Ages ago. Yeah, they do. And the lady that runs it, super nice. Great shop if you're anywhere near Philly. It's actually in New Jersey. But,
ooh, that's pretty.
So it was, it's just a merino wool. It's not superwash. I spun it on the Starling by Daedalus, and I got about 113 yards.
You and your bulky spins.
Bulky? Yeah, I was intending it to be thicker. I didn't have a specific weight in mind, but I just wanted to get back in the habit. You know, it's been a long time since I've been spinning, so.
It's really pretty, friend.
Yeah.
So what are you gonna spin next? Do you have any spinning plans?
No, I want to spin some of my bats from Joanna Spring,
Yeah.
but I want to spin those long draw, and that's not great for an electric wheel.
I would do it on your flat iron.
Yeah, or my matchless, either one of those would work
Yeah.
great for it. I just need to, I'm working on cleaning out my living room because it's just accumulated a bunch of stuff.
Like every living room ever.
Yeah, so I'm working on cleaning that out and setting up a space for the wheel. So
Cool.
yeah, you have spinning, right?
I do.
You always have spinning.
I have 2 finished spins and 1 spin in progress. So this is what I'm absolutely in love with.
Oh, it's got a lot of like muted tones in it.
Yeah, so it kind of looks like an oil slick. And this is Kim Dye's yarn. It's her Hearthstone colorway. It is a 3-ply. Our lighting is not doing it justice.
Let me fix that here.
Kind of, yeah.
No,
So
washing
it's
it
like
out
a
anyway.
gray with a slate blue and some purples and a green, and now I can't see. Now I'm
Laura's
blind.
like, why don't we use the ring light? That's why.
No, I said I'm stealing the ring light for my Instagram lives. And like a baby blue, and it's just really, really pretty. So I'm keeping this one, and it's gonna be a hat for me. It is 235 yards, which is 860 dash meters, because it's a 3-ply.
Mm-hmm.
So, super happy with that. I love it.
Came out really pretty.
Thank you. And then this is more of your bulky. It's actually kind of a worsted. And this is a Targhee. The other was a Falkland. And this is by Spotted U Fibers. And she is married to Daedalus. And actually she's having an update tonight. And Into the World is having an update on Wednesday.
I'm intensely not buying things.
And this is the Queen of the North colorway. So the Targhee really poofed when I...
Queen in the North.
Queen in the North.
It's,
Thank you. Is it one of your things?
Game of Thrones.
Okay.
Not mine specifically, but yeah. It's really pretty. It looks very like clouds. Like
Yeah. So I have a friend who's having a little baby boy. I have 2 friends who actually just had boys. So I think this will become some baby hats. Probably 3 or 4 baby hats.
Yeah.
So yeah. That'll be a good baby hat thing. And then the last thing that I'm currently spinning, well, I'm done with the singles, is Angel Lux Fiberworks.
Oh, this is the one that was gradiated.
Yeah, she vends at Maryland Sheep and Wool, so I picked up 2 of her gradients in Cordale. It's interesting because she does gradients that are Cordale, and then merino silk, and then some other silk-based ones. But we all know how much I love silk.
Yeah.
I did this with a short forward draw, and I kind of wish that I had done it woolen spun because it's a true roving. So the next one I'm going to do a woolen spun.
I have one that Laura got for me, so maybe I'll try woolen spinning that one.
Yeah, last year I got you something. I don't remember which base it is.
I don't either.
We'll have to give it a try. But yeah, so this will be chain plied. I prefer worsted spinning for chain plying because it tends to stay together. You're putting a lot of pressure when you chain ply. Which is why I spun this worsted, but I think the next one will be woolen. I think I'll be happier with that, for sure. So it goes from a dark green all the way to this light green, and that was the other thing, like it was very slow gradient, so I'm used to my lots of color braids. So, and then I started spinning some fiber from Way, Colorful Way. Formerly of Tempting News, but it's still on my wheel, and I didn't get very far today. I was spinning it while I was talking to Jillian Marino on Instagram Live today. So that is all that I have.
That's all.
That's all.
That's all. Just 4 things of hand spun. That's all.
2 done.
But you're working on that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to, last year I did kind of like a self goal where I wanted to do 12 braids and 12 bats over the course of the summer. And I made that, and I'd like to do the same this summer. That, like, roving, I'm counting in, like, the bat category.
Yeah, fiber.
Yeah, so I'd like to get that done. And I have another 2 bats, the Romney Surrey Silk, that I just haven't plied yet. that I just need to sit down and apply. But I don't know, I've been casting on a lot of, like, I'm not finishing stuff for the most part. I'm just casting multiple things
Save it for the end of Stash Dash and you'll be like, bam! Bam!
Alexis Mateo bam?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's it for me. What have you been reading? Oh, you're reading a thing that I just abandoned. I've tried to read that twice and abandoned it both times. Yeah. So, The King's Dragon, that's the first one or the second one?
That's the first one.
And there's just too many characters.
There is a lot. Yeah, there's a lot of characters.
And the viewpoints constantly switching, and they have similar names sometimes, like the son and the father have a similar name, and it's just...
Yeah, it's like Reynold and Roland or something. Yeah. So that's The King's Dragon by Sam Burns and W.M. Fox. Sam Burns, I know, is a knitter. I don't know about W.M.
And
Fox.
I love the rest of her stuff. I just cannot get into those.
It's that way with some books. It's a male fantasy. There's dragons and magic and that sort of thing.
But there's female characters too, right?
There are.
Okay.
But it's not focused on them specifically. But there are some female... there is some female interaction as well.
I didn't get that far. I get to the 11% mark twice, and that's where I was like, and I'm done.
I'm at 60 or 70%. So, so that's one book that I'm reading. I've downloaded samples of a couple other ones, but I haven't spent a lot of time reading lately. So, I'm still listening to Everything's Trash, But It's Okay by Phoebe Robinson. It's still great. I've also been trying to watch a lot of Black Lives Matter related content on Netflix and Prime and, on the internet in general.
Like Selma and 13th and
Just
stuff
Mercy
like that.
And the 13th was by Ava DuVernay was, informative and terrible. And I don't mean terrible like in producing or anything. I just mean it's full of information that is heartbreaking. So yeah, a lot of the time I've been trying to alternate education with entertainment so that I don't get burned out and stop being motivated to continue to educate myself. What about you? Let me move this thing.
So I'm still, my copy of From the Desk of Zoe Washington got yanked back by the library, so I purchased the audiobook, and I'm enjoying it immensely. I think I'm on chapter 7 or 8, so I'm like a fourth of the way through, and I'm liking it a lot. That's a middle grade book, and I'm still reading Lifting as We Climb, which is a non-fiction middle grade YA book. And that's From the Desk of Zoe Washington is a Project Lit book, so I'm really I enjoy the list that they put out for different books. So yeah, I'm trying to read my way through their 2020 list this summer. So I did Stamped already, I did Clean Getaway already, way earlier on this year, before it was selected. So yeah, making some progress there.
We both were part of a Zoom with one of our favorite authors.
Oh yeah, TJ Klune. That was really good.
On Wednesday. It was a Zoom that was...
Last Thursday.
Occurred during my work hours, and I was totally on my work Zoom watching it. So TJ Klune, our sort of local bookstore in Memphis, which is about 20 minutes from us, novel. They are a local independent bookstore, and they teamed up with the Southern...
Yeah, there are a bunch of, like, independent bookstores that are doing these Zoom author signings.
Yeah, so we, put in a reservation and, joined and got to hear him do a little reading. We got to hear him, talk about his process a little bit and his background and the things he wants to write and why he writes LGBTQ characters, and... it was really great. And I told Laura afterwards, I'm like, I can understand why people sometimes come up to us at like SSK and they're like, I feel like I know you, like we're friends. Because like after that thing with TJ, I'm like, I want to be your, like, I'm going to come and just hang out with you. But he's like an intensely introverted person, so I would never do that. But I can understand that, like,
Yeah.
wanting to have that link, like feeling.
Yeah, absolutely. It was a good Zoom. It
was
was around an hour.
Yeah.
So yeah, I got some knitting done, which I always appreciate. I had turned off my camera because they were recording.
Yeah, I turned mine. I'll always turn mine off unless it's necessary for it to be turned on.
Because y'all don't need to see me eating bagels.
You don't need to see my house in the background, like.
But it was good. I don't know where the recording's going, but if it's available, I highly recommend it.
Yeah.
I'm really excited that he's going to start doing some YA books.
Yeah, he's contracted with Tor.
Yeah, Tor Fantasy.
With to do some regular adult novels as well as some YA
3
novels.
adult, 3 YA. Yeah.
So
and this will be like the first time his books, House of the
Cerulean.
Thank you. C was like the first one that was published by a non-independent publisher.
Mm-hmm.
So like physical copies are available in stores, and he hasn't been able to see it because of coronavirus.
He hasn't been able to go to the bookstore and see his copy.
So that's kind of sad. But he has written like 25 other books, which is very impressive.
Green Creek series, the
Lightning Struck Heart series,
Tales of Verania, the At First Sight series, the Bear, Otter, and the Kid series. And then some standalones like Murmuration, Olive Juice.
And all of them are male.
Yeah, they're all male. The Cerulean Sea, which is his latest, that's pretty fit for all ages, like 10 and up. There is one bad word in it. He does say shit once. But other than that...
It would be fun for a YA.
It's not explicit in any way. I think that the main characters share one kiss, maybe? Or a hug? I can't remember. I mean, it's very innocent.
One of the characters is the son of Satan. So if that would I could see that being a point of concern.
Connotation, I could see that. But other than that, it's just a great fantasy, and he just writes so well. He can really evoke feelings well.
Yeah.
Anyway. What else? So Stash Dash is going on. I'm up to 1,000 meters. 1,018 whole meters.
I think I just hit 5K.
Yeah, that does not surprise me.
But I've been doing a lot of spinning.
At the least.
So I need to actually, I need to take my pictures from last Friday because I never did that. And I need to update my page. I have it written in my journal, but I haven't done a formal update on Ravelry. There we go. So yeah. Instagram Lives. I have Brooke of Fully Spun tomorrow. I have Rick of Whimsy Stitches on Wednesday, and then Amy's going to join me on Thursday this week because we are going to take Juneteenth off
and give it to people who
celebrate.
Better use that voice.
Yeah, absolutely. And then the following week I have Patrina, I believe.
Ooh.
And who's an amazing fiber artist, but also a very fun person.
Mm-hmm.
And who else? Sternitz.
Oh, cool.
She had to reschedule because her work schedule changed. So yeah, and maybe some more people. I am not going to be doing Instagram Lives in the month of July. I'm going to take that off. I have a lot of work to do for work. So,
the job that you get paid for?
Yeah. Even though I'm off for the summer, I still have a lot of things to do, curriculum-wise.
Prep work, that sort of thing.
Yeah, and get my reading done and be prepared for if we are there in the actual physical buildings or if we're not there in the actual physical buildings. I want to prep for both those cases. So yeah. I think that's about it. I caught a great white shark on Animal Crossing today.
Yeah, I've gotten one of those. I've gotten the hammerhead, the great white, the saw-headed one, the sucker one.
Ribbon eel?
Caught the ribbon eel.
Tilapia?
Yes, I got a million of those.
Did you get that El Dorado one? Or Dorado?
Dorado, yeah. I've got one of those. I've gotten piranha.
Ooh, I haven't gotten a piranha. Where do you find those?
They're in the rivers.
Huh. I'll have to. I don't do a lot of river
fishing. They're only at certain times of the day.
Okay. That could also
sometimes
be the
case. Ones that only come after 9 p.m. I rarely catch those because I'm usually not on at that time of the day. I did farm tarantulas the other day and went home with 35 tarantulas from the island I was on.
Good for you. I have not gotten a tarantula yet.
I keep going
or a scorpion.
No, these were scorpions. Sorry, not tarantulas.
They keep biting me, and I keep going back to my house. I'm not a good catcher of things.
They're really hard to catch unless you're set up on, like, if you go to a bamboo island or any island that doesn't have a body of water, just the sea on the outside, you can dig holes in a certain pattern that'll allow you to run away from them.
Oh.
And, like, be safe and catch them.
Okay.
Because they're really hard to catch on your own island.
Okay.
I've only ever caught them on a Nook Island, like a
travel island.
Yeah.
A Nook Miles Island, whatever they call that.
I do like a couple a day when I can, because I want to get to there's one island that's like all of the flowers, all of the blended
hybrids?
Hybrid
flowers.
I've
gotten to that island.
I've never gotten to that one. So.
I haven't gotten to any other island, like any other special island but that one.
I got the Money Rock Island last night, which was
good.
I
have done that one before. That is a good one.
But
I don't go to a lot of other islands. I'm pretty lazy with my Animal Crossing
that's usually if I've already collected my fossils and I've already, scoured the beach for stuff, and I'm not interested in waiting for balloons. I'm like, I'll go to a mystery island and see if I can get anything good, because usually at a mystery island you'll at least get a DIY and a piece of furniture.
Yeah. And a wasp.
This is all Animal Crossing for the Nintendo Switch. What else? We've been watching the Tim Gunn, Heidi Klum
Making the Cut
on Amazon, which I don't know if I like it or not. It's very harsh. It's much less like supportive than Project Runway is.
I don't like the judging aspect, although I guess it's more real life.
It is.
It's kind of like a Shark Tank type aspect from what I've seen, and I don't like I don't know. I don't like the Tim and Heidi, like, look, we're learning how to fence today things.
Yeah, the little vignettes or whatever they are. Yeah, that's unnecessary.
But we have been watching We Were Here, which is an HBO show with Bob the Drag Queen, Shangela, and Eureka, who are all drag queens from RuPaul's Drag Race. And they put on a show in all these small towns.
Yep.
I like that.
Titan Games is back.
Titan Games with The Rock is back.
Cornier than ever.
Also good. If you're missing sports and you need something sports-like to watch, that and Ultimate Tag with TJ and JJ and his brother Watt. The Watt brothers. They play tag.
That sounds exciting. I mean, I don't know how I haven't, TiVo'd that.
But, there's one tag that's, up, on climbing walls, in the air and stuff.
So they have to, tag each other and run away while they're climbing walls?
There's one, it's kind of what is American Gladiators? There's these professional taggers, and whoever can last the longest against the professional taggers wins.
I mean, I might have to watch this just so that I can say I've seen this.
Okay, we'll watch it.
I feel like this is in the zeitgeist of 2020 and the dumpster fire that it is.
I like the Watt brothers, so I like JJ and TJ. I don't know the other ones.
I don't know who that is. Are they sports people? Okay,
players.
Yeah, I don't know. The Rock introduced one of his head gladiators or titans or whatever, and he introduced him as a 10-time Pro Bowler, and I thought that meant bowling ball bowler, not football bowl, a bowl game.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Yay sports team thing, whatever.
Alright, we're just blathering now.
True.
We will talk to y'all next week.
Yes, and for those of you who are our supporters on Patreon, first, thank you very much.
Yes.
Second, we have finally gotten our supplies for our fail-along.
Oh, so we'll have to pick a time.
Well, I'm going to send out a poll.
Okay.
And let people choose a time that works best for them and that we can both manage.
And maybe the second place one we can do another one.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Because we owe 2 this month. For sure.
So
what are we doing?
Well, we have 2 different ones. One of them is making a rag wreath. So it's like a wreath made with fabric strips that you can sort of set the color in ways that are interesting to you, or just do it randomly. And then the other is, yeah, I'm going to do it randomly. And the other is making a floating gemstone necklace. Pearl Soho had these kits that we got. And you can make one or up to 3. I think it just depends on the length that you want and all that. So I haven't looked at them or anything. So
do we need to pre-cut the fabric for the rag wreath?
Yes, okay. But once we have that decided, I'll just take a rotary cutter and a mat, and it'll take
I use the we meaning Leslie.
Yeah,
in that case.
I figured that. So, so if you are a Patreon supporter, you should get a poll request about the fail-alongs.
Cool.
And it will be probably Tuesday, the 16th, when I send that out. And, yeah, I think that's it. So,
awesome.
Y'all have a great week, and we'll talk to you next week.
Bye y'all.